Welcome back to What Arty Noobs for General Disturbance. This is an STB-1, it's a tier 10 Japanese medium. It's located on the southwest spawn of Karelia under the commands of ParadoxPoke. Well, he's got 2 marks of excellence on the barrel already. And, well, that means he must have played this tank quite a bit. It's a good little medium tank with pneumatic suspension in the front end of the vehicle, which means it's got kind of gun depression. It's got a 105mm gun, which is capable of doing 360 alpha, penetrating 258mm of armor with standard ammo, and with the premium rounds it goes up to 330, and those are heat rounds. Now, it's got a decent armor on the turret, but the actual tank itself, well, fairly, not weak, but mediocre. So long as you hold down, you can get good shots on the enemy, you're okay. And in fact, actually, he's just got back onto the horseshoe, and a TVP 250-51 managed to beat him to this position by coming directly across the water, or across the swamp. And, oh, sounds like somebody exploded on Arty. And he bounces the first round that comes up at him, and it hit the body at a good enough angle, and that one actually did pen. And in fact, actually, he did get ammo racked on that one, but not explosively so. You can see the shells actually went in through the front, and the guy was aiming at him, the 140, actually managed to put the shells exactly in the right spot to get pens. He's trying to do it from the hold down position now. And this time round, the shell bounced off him because he's only showing the top of his turret. And of course, the turret is nicely rounded with good armor, which makes it much easier to block shots. And the 140 couldn't block that one, and he took a hit. Even though he fired heat back, he couldn't get the connection to make it work. Okay, he's still firing heat now. He's loaded heat anyway. Just waiting for a moment. The 140 obviously hasn't popped his head up since then. I'm not sure if he's pulled back or not. No, he's still there. Just waiting for a moment. You can see that the 140's got a cupola on one side, which does make it fairly weak. But from this position, he's nicely held down. I think he's trying to tempt the guy to shoot. And, oh, there's an SU-130PM. It's a heat round he's fired at him, but, well, nothing could be helped. I mean, the fact is that that's what he'd loaded. Just standard AP would have gone through the SU-130PM. In fact, actually, he could have used the HE ammunition on the SU-130PM, because that would do 440 and easily goes through 53mm of armor. But there again, it's a reload time really. It's 5.38 seconds. He's reloading the AP again, because he's going to have a go at some of these enemy tanks on the other side. He fires at the UDES and bounces off it. Oh, but this time round I think he's going to get the guy. Yeah, nicely so, because he's got the side of the vehicle. And there goes the kill to the TVP. Now actually, this tank became the Japanese Type 74 main battle tank. Oh, nice shot into the 704, and that's quite a dangerous opponent. I think he wants another shot. Yep. Fires one in, even though he couldn't see the target because he's gone unspotted. Pulled back now just to go unspotted himself, just in case he was seen. I don't think he was. Oh, there's an enemy just below, an LHMTV. Now, that might be someone who would have been spotting him. And now he's being cautious to move right over to the other side. Now, although he might be proxy spotted by the LHMTV, he's going to try and poke out and get some shots on these enemy. Ah, now he can see the M4, fires one in. It's the Liberté. The one with the fancy colours, and although he was spotted, oh, yeah, he took a round from the Liberté there. But the Liberté was wiped out by our Jagdtiger. Okay, there's a number of enemy there you can shoot at. The SU-101 puts one into him, 374, still playing with standard AP. There's a 277 off to his left, and he's still looking for that Tiger. Or the 704 for that matter. Okay, the Object 140 has moved up. Now, can he use gun depression on this guy? Yes, he can. Yes, nice. 319 through the side of the turret. And he suddenly realised, yeah, he's in a bit of a dangerous position there. And it's too late because that shot went into the engine and he's gone. Okay, we've got a back chat 25 ton over on the other side. Can he poke out and get a shot? Not from this angle. Not yet. It's nicely hulled down here, actually, in that corner. And the enemy's still... Oh, the enemy's still got their LHMTV, but there's the T-54E1, the autoloader. And he's looking this way, but he failed to get that shot in. And he went for the cheeks again, but... did he get... Oh, he got damage assistance. In fact, he's getting spotting medal now. Okay, Batchat's popped his head up. And in fact, I think that's because the Batchat knows he's here. And fancies getting a shot in himself. So only the one kill so far. There's an M103, I think, round the corner. Last seen around the corner. Yes, he's still here. In fact, actually, he's using a wreck for cover. Looks like the wreck of a lurver. Okay, the M103 is backing away from the wreck. Come here. We want to put a hole in you. Okay, 385. That's good. Go for another. Lower plate. Yep, he may have a curved hull, but it's not going to protect him from these rounds. Oh, and he finished this guy off, but he took her around for 423. That was unfortunate. And he's now down to just 4 rounds of AP left. Ouch. So he's now running short of standard ammo, which means he's going to have to start digging into the heat rounds. And he did load plenty of that, but he seems to do very well with standard AP. Only switching to the heat when he absolutely needs to. I think he's trying to make a profit. Comes out sideways to have a look at the Tiger. Oh, no, only side of the vehicle. Ah, that's a much better target. He didn't pen him. And he's only got 3 rounds of AP left. They fired back in this direction. In fact, it was the Tiger 1 who did. Or Tiger 2, rather. There you go, lower plate. Hit the tracks instead. Superconk's having a go. He's very low on health, though. 13 hit points left. Being very cautious. Yeah, that Tiger's still firing, but he's just fired, so he's in reload. And thank you very much. Lower plate, yes. 331, low roll, but it was a good hit. And the Tiger 2 is now one shot. Will he be able to tempt him to shoot again? He's hoping he will. Hello. No, into the tracks. He's now into the heat ammunition because he's run out of AP. The T110E3 is still around somewhere. There he is. So he needs to be cautious about that guy. So he's using the rocks for cover to move up. He doesn't really want to get in the face-to-face tussle with the E3. He is pointed this way. Yeah, although at the moment he's not pointing directly at us. So it looks like Paradox has decided that he's going to go round rather than directly up the rock face and deal with them. Try and get them from the side if he can, but they'll more than likely turn to face him anyway. Although if they do that, they'll be giving their sides to a Scorpion G and a few others like a Gorilla who are over on the in the swamp at the moment. Yep. In fact, the E3 is ignoring him altogether. And that means he might be able to get shots into the rear of the E3 if he gets the right angle. And he's looking to do it. Yes, he's got the rear of the turret. And that's the end of the E3. So that's 3 kills. Tiger 2's next. He's a one shot. SU-130PM. We'll deal with him first. 1 shot's enough for him. And now the Tiger 2. Say goodnight, Gracie. Oh, and before he can get the kill, somebody else gets there before him. Potentially he's got the high caliber, but there's still 2 enemies out there. He's got 4 kills. He's looking for a light tank and a medium, the Batchat 25 ton and the LHMTV. Now, he is capping, so presumably they would actually try and come back and get a reset. And then he'll get a chance to have a go at them using his gun depression. The actual pneumatic suspension only comes into work when the vehicle is virtually stationary, and then the front end of the tank kneels and allows the gun depression to come into play. It's 8 degrees of gun depression. It's not a lot, but it does make it effective on certain ridge lines, whereas Soviet tanks would have a lot of a problem. The gun, the 105mm, is basically a British type gun. Oh, here comes the back chat. Okay, first shot didn't go through, and remember, this guy's got an autoloader. Oh, that one did, and he rams him for another few hit points. Now he's going to have the problem of trying to deal with this guy whilst he continues to try and fire in, and well, by ramming him like that, he actually tried to make him ineffective, and it worked. And he's getting round after round, and the back chat realises it's all over now, so the next round is going to be the end of him. That's it. LHM TV, where are you? I want a Top Gun, and I'm going to get it. It definitely looks like he's got the high caliber now. Where is that LHM TV? There's only one enemy left. There's only 2 left on the team. Seems the LHM TV was busy, so was the Bat Chat. But that Bat Chat was bettered by ParadoxPoke, because what he did is he actually bullied him by pushing him around and throwing off his aim as he was turning round and round and round. And that's how he managed to survive without losing too many hit points in the process. He's expecting the LHM TV to come up from this direction. He was on the north side of the map. He could come up just to the left. He's going to have to come back. He will come back presumably when he's got 70 cap points up, just so he can get a defender medal. After all, if you're going to die, you might as well get an epic medal. And here he comes. Oh, he did fire one in. Cheeky, very cheeky shot there. But this is where it all ends for the LHM TV. And oh, what a shot. That's done it. And he wins the game with a Top Gun. And that's why you have 2 marks on the barrel. Let's have a look at the end of battle stats. Ace Tanker for ParadoxPoke in the STB-1. He managed to get a fire for effect for doing more damage than the hit points to his own vehicle, a shell proof for blocking more damage than the hit points to his own vehicle. He got a spotter badge for spotting at least 1,000 hit points of damage on the enemy, a duelist for taking down 2 tanks who damaged him, a hand of God for surviving the battle, having received damage from 4 different enemy tanks, and a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. In this one he managed 9. He got a couple of battle hero, in fact he got 4 battle hero medals in this one. He got the high caliber for dealing the most damage in the game, a Top Gun for getting at least 6 kills, a Confederate for hitting more of the enemy than anyone else on his team, and lastly he got a steel wall because he not only blocked the most damage, it's at least 11 shots and at least 1,000 hit points of damage blocked, and also survived the battle, of course. And his win rate from the battle was 11,415. That's Super Unicum standard and a bit more. Let's have a look at team score. Oh my god, look at this. He carried the team on this one. 7,816 hit points of damage. The next highest scorer being the Superconk, who had less than half of that value. He only had 3,410 hit points of damage. And then the SU-130PM on the enemy team, who managed to get a Loner's medal, also managed to get 3,034 hit points of damage. The LHM TV, he got a patrol dude. He turned up too early to get a defender. If he'd actually waited a little while longer, he might have got it, because he actually managed to get 68 defense points. He needed 70 for the defender, so he made it back too early. ParadoxPoke spotted him, and well, he fired his round in. And of course he was probably just wanting to get the hell out of there before ParadoxPoke could respond to him. And I'm afraid he fired too early, and that cost him a medal. So let's have a look at the number of kills. Yes, he got the highest number of kills, 6. The TVP managed 4. The Yak Tiger managed 2. And 2 members of the enemy team managed 3 kills each. The SU-130PM and the Batchat 25 ton. When it came to base XP, he was well over the rest. Yes, easily 1,440 to ParadoxPoke, 799 to the Superconk, 717 to the TVP. But they were both beaten by the LHMTV, who was doing an excellent job spotting for his team. 3,680 hit points of spotting damage in that game. Plus, of course, he did shoot at his enemy as well. He got 7 enemies damaged and 1 killed, so he was not only actually doing spotting damage, he was doing damage as well. That's why his XP was so high. Plus, of course, he was hitting higher tier opponents. When it came to shots, he fired, ParadoxPoke fired 35 rounds, got 28 direct hits and 23 penetrations. Damage of 7,816 hit points, of which 2,843 were at more than 300 meters. He received 13 hits from the enemy, only 5 of which actually penetrated, 8 non-penetrations. A lot of those bounced off either the front plate of the armour, the upper front plate, or the turret, because that well-rounded turret is very good at deflecting shots, especially from the front. He did 2,910 hit points of block damage in that game, spotted 1 enemy vehicle, damaged 12 of the enemy, killed 6, so there's only 3 enemy tanks that he didn't touch during that game. 2,161 hit points of damage assistance, that's spotting assist actually, in this game, and he got 2 capture points in the cap right at the very end. On a premium count, he earned 108,677 credits from the game, 20,000 for completing the mission and events, and brought up a total of 128,677. But he did have to fire a number of premium rounds right at the end of the game. In fact, quite a lot of premium rounds at the end of the game, and that did cost him, I'm afraid, and he actually ended up with a loss of 14,093 credits. But at least that's he's probably happier with the win than with losing the credits, because he can easily make that back in no time at all. He earned 7 bonds for the battle, and 2,160 XP times 2 for the first victory, 4,320 from completing the mission and events, and took away 8,640 experience points altogether. So a very good round in the STB-1, shows why it's actually a decent medium to play in this game. It does have an effective gun, very accurate gun, and well, it can play rather quick and fast and loose like a medium tank should at getting around the enemy and shooting into them. So it outwits much bigger and beefier heavy tanks. But of course it is a tier 10 medium, so you'd expect it to be very good against lower tier tanks. He did take on a few lower tiers, but he also took on some high tier tanks as well, so very well done in this game, and a worthy victory, because he did carry the team. If you enjoyed that replay, please give this video a like and do subscribe to our channel, please. Thanks for watching.